Wuthering Waves version 3.6 has finally been revealed, bringing 2 new 5-star characters, new story content, a new area, sword flight, playable instruments, new enemies and echoes, new events, motorbike additions, major optimizations, and finally a lot of quality of life improvements. So with this, in today's video, we'll be going through everything announced and teased in the version 3.6 preview, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. To start, version 3.6 does continue directly from the story of version 3.5. Although Muyu was defeated, his true self remains at large, and many of the mysteries surrounding Zhuangfang continue to point back towards the Sentinel. The story will also focus heavily on Qingxiao, Zhuangfang's legendary sword Transcendent, and Jingran, whose mysterious nether lamp appears to be connected to many of the events happening throughout the region. Rover will also be traveling into a mysterious new realm as we learn more about Zhuangfang, its Sentinel, the nether lamp, and again what Muyu was actually trying to accomplish. In terms of the new main quests, however, we have Chapter 4 Act 3, Song of the Heart Sword, and Chapter 4 Segue, the Nethermancer's Requiem. Song of the Heart Sword focuses heavily on Qingxiao and the path that she has chosen as the sword Transcendent, and the Nethermancer's Requiem shifts the focus towards Jingran, his lamp, and the secrets connected to the Netherworld. Completing the new main quest, however, will also reward you with 2 new expedition motorbike liveries, the first being Cloud Voyage and the second being Jade, the mightiest auto puppet. One of the biggest new exploration features though is sword flight. As you progress through the main quest, you will unlock sword flight spots throughout Zhuangfang. These allow Rover to jump onto a flying sword and travel through the sky, giving you a completely different way to move around the region and reach the massive structures floating above Mengzhou. Version 3.6 is also adding performances. After completing the main quest, you can obtain the 7-string wish for Peace, Drifting Resonance. To be clear, this is a fully playable interface with individual notes mapped to your controls, and this allows you to play music yourself. Version 3.6 also introduces a new area surrounding the enormous cloud shuttle fleet that roams the skies of Mengzhou. The broadcast also showed huge structures floating above an endless sea of clouds, along with completely different environments connected to the new story. Rover will also be exploring both the fleet itself and the strange realm surrounding it as the story progresses, but then we were shown 3 new enemies, with the first being Skywatch Lancer, the second being Jade Nether Serpent, and the third the much larger Calamity Effigy. That said, Calamity Effigy is especially important as this will also become a brand new echo in version 3.6, giving us another echo to obtain and use in combat. Moving on to the new characters, the first 5-star resonator is Qingxiao. Qingxiao is a 5-star arrow sword resonator and a legendary sword Transcendent who has protected Zhuangfang for more than a century. During combat, she controls swords around her, then transitions into much faster sword attacks that let her cut through enemies almost instantly. Her stronger attacks summon multiple swords across the battlefield though, with some of her animations even having her move between them before finishing an attack. Qingxiao is also releasing alongside her new 5-star sword, Glint of Clouds. The second new 5-star resonator is Jingran. Jingran is a 5-star fusion broadblade resonator and a Nethermancer closely connected to the mysterious lamp that we've seen throughout the Zhuangfang story. Jingran fights alongside the small spirit connected in his lamp and combines heavy broadblade attacks with the supernatural abilities of the nether lamp. Jingran's signature 5-star broadblade is Thousandfold Deliverance, and the weapon has a gold design based around the same theme surrounding Jingran and the nether lamp. As for banners and timings, the first phase of version 3.6 will feature Qingxiao, and Dania will also be receiving a rerun alongside her. The second banner, however, will begin with Jingran, and he'll be joined by the reruns for Hiyuki and Mornier. Version 3.6 also brings several events though. The first is Resonance Sim Realm, a combat event built around experimenting with different abilities and combinations. The event continuously introduces different types of interference, letting you change your setup and discover different ways of dealing with each fight. Following this event is the Strings Remember, and this is a leisure event built around the new system where you progress through different stages and gradually reveal new melodies. Second Coming of Solaris is also returning with a new event called Coded Deception, and this time this is a strange new version of Second Coming of Solaris, with the mystery seeming to be somehow connected to Kuroro. The limited time exploration event, Wuthering Exploration, is also coming back, and you'll travel through designated areas, complete the event objectives, and then collect the available reward. There's also a new combat event called If Dreams Still Reverberate, and the event takes place inside the Ivory Gatekeeper and has you fight through increasingly dangerous combat challenges. Version 3.6 will also add another opponent to Tactical Hologram Sparring, giving players another high-level combat challenge. Next, however, we're also getting another 7-day login event called Gifts of Drifting Mist, and as usual, simply log in throughout the event to collect all 7 days of reward. Now regarding Qingxiao and Jingran, both new characters are also receiving accessories. Qingxiao has Cloud Bloom, which adds the golden ornament and branches around her head, and Jingran gets Snowpaw, placing the small creature directly on top of his hood. Both accessories will be obtainable through the store, and the broadcast also mentioned that after version 3.6, they will then be permanent items that can be purchased with asteroids. The motorbike is also receiving changes here, and with it, the Expedition Motorbike display interface is receiving new themed backgrounds, letting you change the environment shown behind your bike. The motorbike navigation and autopilot mode are also being improved, and with it, the broadcast showcased adjustments to how navigation works on the map and improvements to autopilot while actually driving. The sharing system is also receiving another update. You'll now be able to directly share challenge results from content like End State Matrix, Whimpering Wastes, and other events. The mailbox capacity is also being increased, and a new mail collection feature is being added too. Collected emails will now be protected from bulk deletion, and Kuro specifically mentioned preventing important collected messages from accidentally being replaced by reissued mails containing overflow items. The Echo recommendation system is once again being updated again though, and the underlying recommendation algorithm is being optimized, so the game yet again should provide more accurate recommendations for what you should choose for echoes for your characters. Version 3.6 is also making a major change behind the scenes to improve performance, and with it, the devs have been changing part of the game's underlying programming implementation with the goal of improving performance across every platform and making future optimizations easier. Obviously, this is a bit vague, but overall, their comparisons showed noticeable improvements on both mobile and PC, with some of their changes gaining around 10 FPS on each system. The video users are also gaining upgraded DLSS 4.5 support, and the broadcast compared DLSS 4 running at 4 times against DLSS 4.5 running at 6 times, with the showcase going from around 180 FPS to 240. Outside of the game itself, Kuro also revealed a prototype for an upcoming 1/7 scale Lynae complete figure, and of course we received 3 new redemption codes: Heart of Sword, Eternal Flame, and The Answer, each of which give 100 astrites and other materials for your characters. That was everything announced during the Wuthering Waves version 3.6 preview though. Let me know what you're most excited for in said version, and if this breakdown helped you catch everything from the livestream, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again for watching guys, I'll see you all next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, good night.